It was April 11, 2002. 18-year-old Lauren Billman of Plano was driving home from drill team practice when her world suddenly turned upside down.
Well, I was going about 60 miles an hour on the toll road, and so I go to brake. It just starts speeding up, and you just feel the force going forward. There's nothing you can do, and it's just a really helpless feeling. I thought I was going to die. I was thinking in my head, I'm going to die, I'm going to die.
Her 1996 Ford Explorer would not stop, despite, she says, repeatedly pushing both feet on the brake. She steered the vehicle to the exit ramp and through the toll booth. During the event, her parents happened to call.
I said, "Baby, where are you?" And she goes, "I'm on the tollway." And I said, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "My brakes won't work." And then she goes, "Daddy, what do I do?" And then the phone went dead.
Lauren lost control and slammed into a bridge support. And trapped inside the mangled wreckage, a teen fighting for her life and possibly the answer to a troubling mystery.
And then to find out that this is a fairly well-known thing, and then as we go further and we find out that there's hundreds of cases, against them, for the same type of thing, the anger really starts to build.
That anger also builds within Tony Anderson of Tyler. He was a mechanic at a Ford dealership in 1999 when an Explorer being eased up to a diagnostics machine mysteriously accelerated, pinning him between the hood and the machine. Anderson remembers little more than the roar of the engine and the panicked look on the driver's face.
When he had me pinned, I was bent over the hood of the car, looking him straight into the eye. So the motor was at a high RPM, just like the throttle was wide open.
The driver swore his foot was off the accelerator.
Because the throttle was wide open.
Another coworker says he dove into the car, shifted it into reverse, and watched it speed backward and slam into a pole, tires still spinning.
But the tires were still spinning.
Correct.
The RPMs were still running high.
Correct, and I switched it off.
Despite witness accounts, Ford maintains it was the driver's fault. Anderson's attorney says that's absurd.
The wheels continued to spin even after they hit the pole, still squealing, still moving backwards.
What does that tell you?
It tells me that the motor was still revving and that it wasn't operator error.
Cowan also points to Ford's own vehicle service reports on dozens of other 1997 Explorers around the country. At a Ford dealership in New Jersey where the vehicle suddenly accelerated. In New York, a customer complained his car is surging out of control. In Kentucky, the accelerator stuck and the customer ran into a telephone pole. In case after case, state after state, the same report that the vehicle suddenly accelerated. Clarence Ditlow with the Center for Auto Safety has co-authored a book titled Sudden Acceleration. He says Ford is well aware of the problem and not just in the 97 Explorers.
They've made Band-Aid approaches to trying to reduce it, but we still have various Ford vehicles in the 1990s and now into the 2000s that continue to have sudden acceleration incidents.
And then there is this, a 1999 internal email from a Ford engineer giving two co-workers the heads up. Quote, "I think our unexplained acceleration issue may start to heat up soon. We learned today that one of Ford's vice presidents hit a telephone pole with his navigator due to unexplained acceleration." So what is causing the problems? Billman's lawyers say in their case, rust and grime buildup found in the wreckage caused the accelerator cable to stick. Attorneys for Tony Anderson blame something called electromagnetic interference.
You can't recreate it. There's no evidence left behind to prove it existed. We know what it is, we know what causes it, but there's no evidence left after the fact.
And that is precisely Ford's response. They point to an utter lack of empirical data to support their theory and unequivocal engineering evidence to the contrary. Ford also points to an investigation done 5 years ago by the federal government, which states To date, no one known to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has found any credible evidence that sudden acceleration incidents are occurring as a result of simultaneous, undetectable electrical and mechanical failures. What is happening all over the country, according to Ford, is the same thing it says happened to Lauren Billman.
They told me that I must have had my foot on the gas instead of the brake when I was braking, and I had them mixed up, and that wasn't the case. I knew that wasn't the case.
Lauren's very lucky.
By all accounts, Billman is lucky to be alive to refute Ford's claim. Her father says he hopes Ford will eventually listen.
You guys need to do something. You guys need to educate. You guys need to figure out the situation with this.